We got a cracker of a class today. One block, please. If you don't have a block, don't stress. You could use a book. You don't actually have to have a block. It's just for a just in case. Lena, so good to see you. Welcome. So the block is really one of those things. Look, when I'm practicing in a studio or at home, I always grab a block. I just always need one. I'll always find a reason to put my hand on it. That's the point of the block today, is a just in case. If you practice yoga and you know you very rarely need a block, that's okay. But there's nothing specifically sequenced around this prop. It's a just in case. I think we're all here. Cool. Well, welcome. Happy Sunday, everybody. If you'd like to pop some music on, feel free to do so. Farron's put some suggested playlists online. Put whatever you want on. It's the beauty of practicing at home, hey? All right, so we are working towards a specific shape, which will be a standing posture. So there will be some quad work. Oh, I forgot to mute you all. So like any class, any day, if the body is communicating that you need a little less, it's completely okay to take less. There'll be lots of modifications of it. If you like to work with a chair, grab a chair. There's no rules really. If you need to unmute your mic and ask questions, please do so. To start our class today, I'm going to offer a couple of options. What we're wanting to do is get into the inner thighs a little bit. So option one is our frog. For the yinsters in the room, people that practice yin will know all about frog, but this is quite knee heavy. So if you know it's not suitable for your knees, I've got other options. When we come into frog, we start in our tabletop and we sort of try to keep our hips above our knees as we separate the knees. So allow the knees to draw out to the side, and we're going to hit our maximum here. So find that edge, the edge where you're like, oof, okay, that's as far as I can go today. And from here, you can come down to the forearms, or maybe you've got that block handy. If you have a lot of space, you can see I don't have a lot of space in this shape. This is really strong in my body, but some people can bring their belly to the floor. Go for it. If this is not going to happen today, option two is wide knee child's pose. So it's still a bit of load in those knees, taking the knees wide if you can. The arms can come forward, or you could sweep your arms behind you. You could bring your forehead on a block, or you could stack your hands, I quite like this one, and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And if none of those suit today, please come onto your back and draw your knees in. And you can separate the knees and maybe rock side to side if that's a little more suitable. So frog, child's pose, or coming onto your back and drawing your knees in. Stillness or rocking, up to you. So whichever shape you have decided to take this morning, you might like to start to check in with sensations you're feeling. So the body is constantly giving us feedback. So can you notice the feedback your body sends you? Another option to check in and arrive on your mat is to bring your awareness to the breath. So without changing it at this point, just noticing it, noticing the natural breath as it flows in and out through the nose. And you might even start to deepen the breath if that's available. Perhaps even thinking about slowing the breath rather than deepening it. Keeping the breath steady, nice Iona, maybe happy baby if you're on your back, very nice. Modifications. Let's see if we can stay for a few more breaths. If you need to come out, of course, it's okay to come out earlier. With every exhale, maybe you soften a little more into the shape you're making. And if you would like to set an intention or a sankalpa for your practice, giving yourself something to focus on, you are more than welcome to do that. We're going to slowly start to come out of this shape now. Come high on the knees. Maybe you might like to just press the hips forward a little bit, a little release for those hip flexors. And then we're going to either sit down on our heels, if that's okay, or you can sit on your bottom cross-legged, or any other seat that's available. So just noticing how the shape's feeling in your body. Then we're going to bring our hands onto our thighs, press our hands and round through the back. Exhale all of your air. Inhale, arching the spine, pulling the chest through, looking forward or up. And then on the exhale, we round through the spine. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Moving with your breath if you can, exhale. Last one. Finding a neutral spine in whichever seat you've taken, interlace the hands, and then press the palms forward. Round through the back as you press your palms forward even more. Maybe look down towards your thighs. Exhale. As we inhale, we're going to start to arch the spine as the hands press up towards the ceiling. Notice your shoulders. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Press those palms forward. Inhale, arching the spine, just getting some movement through the back here and the shoulders. Exhale, press those palms forward. Let's go for one more. If it's okay in your body, remember, you can skip stuff if you need to. That's completely fine. Release your hands to the floor. Let's come into our tabletop now. So bringing those knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And we're going to start to roll through the belly, drawing circles here, or perhaps any other shapes you like to create, exploring the hips, the back, and the shoulders. Allow the neck to be soft. You might choose to reverse the direction of the circles. Maybe your movement has changed into something else. Let's find our neutral spine and then walk our knees back. Press the torso forward, find your low plank. Pull the belly in, squeeze the thighs, the glutes. Take a big breath in to prepare. Then as we exhale, bending the elbows brush against those ribs. Come all the way down to the floor. Press the tops of the feet. Inhale, find your first cobra, Bhujangasana. Bow the forehead, hips press back to those heels. Tuck your toes, lift your tailbone, and find your downward facing dog, your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Pedaling out those feet, moving your hips side to side, exploring your body in this shape. How does it feel? And remembering that down dog can be substituted for tabletop. So you can come into any shape from tabletop rather than down dog if down dog's not working today. And you can absolutely come down to the forearms, forearm dog, if those wrists need a break. We're going to walk our hands back to meet our feet at the back of our mat. Heel toe the feet as wide as the mat. Take a big bend in those knees and allow the upper body to be heavy and hang. You might choose to keep your fingertips on the floor. This helps support the back. Or maybe if it's okay, you can grab opposite elbows as you sway side to side. Enjoying a few more breaths here, exploring the backs of the legs today. Noticing areas of tightness with love and understanding, okay, that's where my body is today. I'll be aware of that as I practice. Let's bring those hands to the floor now. Big bend in those knees if you need. Heel toe those feet underneath your hips. Soft knees forward fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, come all the way up to rise. And exhale, come straight back down. Half lift, inhale. Walk those hands forward, find your plank. Take a big breath in. Drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Bow the forehead, hips press back to your heels, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, take small steps until you arrive at the top of your mat. Big bend in those knees, forward fold. Fingertips to shins, half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Soft knees, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, straight back down. Half lift, inhale. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. Big breath in. Drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Bow the forehead, hips back to heels, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, straight back down. Half lift, inhale. Walk your hands forward, find your plank. Breath in to prepare. Drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. That's it. Inhale, Cobra. Bow the forehead, hips press back to the heels. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Let's go back, hands back to meet your feet. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale, come straight back down. Half lift, inhale. Walk those hands forward. Find your plank. Breath in. Drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, cobra, our Bhujangasana shape. Bow the forehead, hips press back to the heels, tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Look between your hands, walk your feet to the top of the mat, soft knees here we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, and we're gonna find our flowing chair. So if you like to bring a block between your thighs, if that feels safe in your body, do that. Maybe you keep your feet separated. Perhaps you bring your feet together if that suits your body. Squeeze your glutes, your legs, firing up those muscles. Take a big breath in. Exhale, keep squeezing your glutes as you bend your knees, sweep your arms back. Inhale, rise, arms above head if it's okay. You can adjust your hands if you need to. Exhale, sweep those arms back. Remember, hands could just be at the heart if you like. Inhale. Keep squeezing the glutes. The glutes are working hard here. It's effortless. It's light. When you have your glutes engaged and your pelvic floor lifted, bending those knees feels a lot easier than if we don't squeeze the glutes. Let's go for one more. Inhale to rise. This time take your hands to the heart space, bend your knees, hold in your chair, if this is okay. If you prefer, you can continue to flow through your chair if that's better in your body today. Otherwise, if it's okay to hold, really take a peek down at your knees. Make sure that your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, pelvic floor, everything's engaged here. So this is our heating shape. All of our really oxygen-hungry muscles are working. So it's completely fine if you're starting to feel the body temperature heating up, rising. Take a big breath in. Exhale, we forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. This time we're going to step our left foot back. So step your left foot way back and slowly come down to the back knee. Untuck the back toe, looking forward, high on those fingertips, perhaps drive those hips forward, knees stacked on top of your ankle. Maybe bringing forearm up to the right knee now, if you've got the space. So we're really sinking down into the hips and just seeing if we can find a little more space for those left hip flexors. Take a big breath in. Then as we exhale, we're going to pull the hips back. Scissor the thighs together like you're trying to drag the right heel back, left knee forward. Hands to heart, interlace last 3 fingers. So this is our pistol mudra, our Kaspana mudra. Take a breath in, stay here. Or if it's okay for the shoulders today, extend the arms with the mudra overhead. Lifting up from your lats, so you're lifting your whole back up. Keep the glutes active, so your legs should be working pretty hard here. Take a big breath in. Hands to floor, pick up the back knee. Glide your right foot back, find your plank. Breath in, remember cat-cow is a great alternative. Drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, find your cobra. Bow the forehead, hips back to heels, tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, taking small steps until you arrive at the top of your mat. Soften those knees, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, inhale, come all the way up. Set up your legs for your chair. So take that block or bring your feet together. Breath in. Exhale, squeeze those thighs, glutes, pelvic floor. Swing those arms back. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, squeeze, press, activate, swing the arms back. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go for 2 more if it's okay for you. Last one. All right, let's rise. Hands to heart, breath in to prepare. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, bend the knees. Find your chair. All right, if you would prefer to keep flowing, go for it. Otherwise, if you feel like you'd like a little more in this shape, you might like to come up onto your tippy toes. Ooh, hello, calf muscles. Keep those glutes working hard. Keep the flow of breath nice and steady. And when we practice yoga, if we can't breathe, the body's often communicating to us that we just need to come back a step. And that's okay. Maybe sink down a little deeper. Ooh, you'll thank me tomorrow or not. That's fine too. Big breath in. Exhale, let's forward fold. Remove the block if you have it between the thighs. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time we step the right foot back. Right foot steps down the mat and we slowly come down to the back knee. We stack our left knee over our left ankle, high on those fingertips. You can adjust your feet as much as you need to accommodate your ankles, knees, and hips. So our feet are there to really keep our joints safe. Take a big breath. Maybe forearm to knee for a little more, if the space is there. Sometimes this compresses the back, so it's not necessary if it doesn't feel good. You've got your block as well, potentially, or book, or chair. All right, let's pull those hips back and scissor the thighs together. So you really should feel the right quadriceps and hamstrings switch on. Glutes very active. Lift up that pelvic floor and squeeze the stomach. Hands to heart. Interlace last 3 fingers. Stay here or extend those arms if it's suitable for the shoulders. Legs working hard here. One more breath. And hands frame the front foot. Glide that left foot back, plank or tabletop. This time up to you, knees on or off the floor. Exhale to or through chaturanga. Up dog if you want to go there today, or cobra. Downward facing dog. All right, let's inhale the right leg high. Then bend your knee and stack open the hip. So you're drawing that right hip open. The right heel is drawing towards the glutes. Beautiful. Just be aware of your shoulders if you've twisted in the shoulders a little bit. Nice, Lena. That looks good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, right knee meets the right elbow. Hello. Take a breath in. And then place the right foot on the outside of the right hand. So we have a wider stance here. And we're just going to explore our lizard for a little bit. So you might bring your hands onto that prop if you have it. You might rock side to side or draw circles. You might prefer to drop the back knee. So we're exploring our left hip flexors in a deeper way, as well as our outer right hip. And just encouraging a little bit of release as we keep the flow of breath nice and steady. All right, if you haven't already, we're now going to drop that back knee. And we're going to heel toe the right foot in a little bit so that our right hand's on the outside of that foot now. Pull your hips back, hands to heart. Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. Left hand, you guys know how much I love a good twist on a Sunday morning. Left hand on the outside of that right knee. And let's sweep that right arm back, starting our twisting series. So the right hand might come to the flat part of the lower back if that's nicer for the shoulder. You're also welcome to wrap the arm around the back for a half bind, if that's okay. We create a bunda or a lock by pushing the knee into the hand and the hand pulls against the knee. The glutes gently engage and we're trying to work that right shoulder back a little more with every breath we take without forcing or jamming. Good catch, Kate. It's all right if we stumble a little bit. I'm sure you'll see me stumble many times today. Take a big breath in. Exhale, gently release your twist. Hands brace that right knee. Tuck your back toe and we rise to find our high lunge. Hands to hips first. So just noticing where your hips are. Do you need to bend the back knee or can you straighten the back leg? Big bend in the front knee, squeeze those glutes, lift the pelvic floor, belly towards the spine, hands to heart. Bring the left hand on the outside of the right thigh, sweep the right arm back. Maybe hands to the flat part of the lower back. Maybe you take your bind, entirely up to you. You can also drop the back knee if you just feel like this is too much today or the body doesn't respond well. Breathe. One more breath here. Coming out of your twist, hands to heart, interlace the last three fingers. Take breaks if you need. Stay here or extend the arms. Two more breaths, glutes working hard. We're going to bring our hands on the inside of the right foot. I'm just going to spin around. We're finding Skandasana. So turn your right toes in a little bit. Then we're going to bring our left heel down to the floor, left toes point up as we bend into that right knee. You might be on the ball of the right foot like me. You might plant the sole of the right foot. You might stay up high. So this is all about the inner left thigh. For a cheeky twist, right hand to floor, left hand, left hip. If cheeky twist doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. Skandasana's not my favorite shape. I have loads of torsion in my shins, so I find it a hard shape to make with my body, and that's okay. Other people look so effortless in this shape. We're so different. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands to floor, pivot around to your low lunge. Glide your right foot back and take whatever flow you desire. Knees on or off the floor, up dog cobra, or maybe your tabletop cat-cow. Very nice. I love seeing all the modifications in the Zoom room. Either from your tabletop now or from your down dog, up to you. Inhale, lift your left leg. Bend your knee, stack open your hip. So this can be from tabletop or down dog, entirely up to you. Take a breath in. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Breath in. Exhale, place the foot on the outside of that left hand and let's explore our lizard on this side. This side might feel completely different to the opposite side. That's okay. Noticing all the feels. I feel this a lot in my hamstrings on the left side, which is interesting. Two more breaths. Lizard your way. Then we're going to touch the back knee down if you haven't already. Heel toe that left foot in. So left hand is on the outside of the foot now. Inhale, look forward to prepare. Exhale, pull your hips back, hands to heart. Low lunge. Nice and active here. Don't forget about your glutes. Right hand on the outside of that left thigh and the left arm sweeps back. Hand to lower back or wrapping your arm all the way around if that suits you better. Then press your right hand against your left knee as your left knee presses against your right hand. And maybe that left shoulder comes back a little more. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Gently releasing your twist hands, brace that left knee. Tuck the back toe and lifting the back knee. Remember, you can come down to that low lunge anytime you need. Hands to hips, just get the shape right in your body, how it feels. Then hands to heart, inhale. Right hand outside of left thigh, sweep that left arm back, close twist. Little engagement in the glutes can help us stabilize. So it can help us balance, but it can also help stabilize the pelvis. Pelvic floor is great for that too. Beautiful. And just see if that shoulder is going to come back a little more as you press the hand against the knee. Finding length, finding twist, finding space. Take a big breath in. Exhale, coming back to center, hands to heart. Interlace the last 3 fingers. Hold here or lift those arms. Big breath in. Hands on the inside of the left foot. Turn the left toes in. Pivot on your back foot, right toes point up. So for me, I cannot keep my left foot planted. It's just not going to happen. So I pick up my left heel and I'm on my left toes. That's better. Adjust any way you like. Left hand to the floor for cheeky twist with the right hand to the hip, if you like. Just an option. Another Skandasana option for you with that left foot is to actually plant the front of the left foot like you're sitting on the left heel. That's another choice. You're still getting the same sensation through the right inner thigh. So there's heaps of ways you can explore this shape. Breath in. Exhale, hands to floor. Pivot around to your low lunge. Glide your left leg back and flush it out with the flow of your choice. Two breaths wherever you are. So from your tabletop or your downward facing dog, inhale, lift your right leg high, bend your knee, stack open that hip. Breath in. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest now or to the belly. Shift the shoulders over the wrists. Look between your hands and place that foot between the hands. Voila. Soften your back knee. And we can rise to our high lunge. Remember, you can drop the back knee anytime. Take a breath in. Exhale, left hand outside of right thigh, close twist, stay here. Or if you have the space today, hooking the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Pull that right hip back, palms together. And we have our Parivrtta Anjaneyasana, if that's okay. So staying in your high twist, nice Lena, is completely fine too. You guys all look pretty comfortable there. We explored this shape in detail last week. Keeping that bandha active, remember, press knee against elbow, elbow against knee, glutes gently engage. All right, let's gently release, hands to heart, take a breath in. We're gonna find our arrowhead now because I love you guys so much. We're gonna bring the body forward, arms back. So arrowhead is a big glute shape. So we really need our glutes to be on fire to help keep everything activated and safe. You can drop the back knee for less. Try to keep the belly off the thigh. Very nice, yogis. We just want to make sure the knee doesn't fall in. Keep the breath of flow steady. Take breaks where you need. Beautiful. Breath in. And exhale, hands to floor. Glide your right foot back and flush it out with the flow of your choice. Very nice. From your downward facing dog or your tabletop, up to you. Inhale, lift that left leg. Bend the knee, peel open that hip. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee to chest. Look between your hands and then place that left foot between your hands. Softening the back knee, we rise to our high lunge or low lunge if you prefer that today. Right hand takes the outside of the left thigh, sweep the right arm back. Or if you have the space, tilt the body forward, hook your right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Keep drawing the left hip back, lengthening the spine, palms together, glutes engaged. Parivrita Anjani or your high twist. Awesome. Checking that the knee is not drifting in, so you're still pressing the knee into the elbow. Don't forget about the glutes. One more breath here if it's okay for you. And let's rise. I find rising the hardest part. Hands to heart, take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, body forward, arms come back. Oh, switch on those glutes here. Feel those quadriceps nice and active. Take less if you need it. Knee doesn't fall in. Oh, very nice. You guys are pros at these shapes. The flow of breath is steady. So you've got the perfect balance of strong and soft here. So your neck is soft. Your head's just hanging out. But the lower part of your body is working super duper hard. Big breath in. Hands to floor, glide that left foot back and flush it out with the flow of your choice. We've got 3 breaths before our next sequence. So if you want to take extra stuff, go for it. Take some extra flows. If you want to sit on your heels perhaps and just breathe for 3 breaths, do that. Up to you. All right. From your tabletop or from your downward facing dog, inhale and lift your right leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift the shoulders over wrists. Breath in. Dome through the upper back. Place the foot between the hands. And then drop your back foot 90 degrees. So the back foot points to the side. Just realized I'm facing the wrong way. Warrior 2. So we open up our arms, traditionally in Warrior 2, but we're going to bring our hands to our hips and we're going to straighten through that front leg. All right. So this isn't our peak shape today, but we're setting up our legs for the peak shape because this is the same legs as our peak shape, if that makes sense. So just have a look at your feet. Have a look at your back knee. So remember that your back foot can change direction to accommodate the back knee. We want to try to make our toes go in a similar direction as our knees to avoid putting too much pressure, okay? So just remember the back foot, we can pivot that in a little bit if you've got pressure in the knee or in the hip, okay? Or if it just feels better. Your front foot, We try to keep the toes pointing forwards, but if you need to adjust that to accommodate your front knee, that's fine too. Hands to hips, grow tall through the spine. Now activate your legs. Keep your legs strong, pull up through the kneecaps, squeeze your glutes, lift the pelvic floor, draw your belly button in towards the spine, breath in. Then as you exhale, bend through the front knee. So we want to make sure the front knee doesn't go beyond the front ankle. And take a look down at your right foot. Can you see the first two toes of your front foot? So if your knee's falling in, I'm going to come front onto the camera. If your knee's doing this, it's going to put pressure on your joints. So we want to try to accommodate the front knee to make sure it's not falling in. We need to fire up this TFL muscle right here. Keep your back leg active. When your back leg is active, you're pulling up through your left kneecaps. Then you're protecting your back knee. Adjust your foot any way you like. Then straighten through the front leg. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee again. Keep that activation, glutes, super important. If it's okay for your shoulders, extend your arms for your warrior two. Beautiful. Lift up through the pelvic floor as the glutes squeeze to hug everything into the midline. Soften those shoulders, making sure we're not clenching the shoulders too much. Sinking a little more into the front knee if you can. Breath in. Exhale, hands to floor. Turn the back foot in, glide your right foot back and flush it out with your flow of your choice. So we're starting to create a little muscle memory. So when we arrive at our peak shape after this warrior two exploration, your body will have a little more of an idea of how you can hold the shape safely in your body. From your tabletop or your downward facing dog, inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Look between your hands. Place the foot between your hands. Pivot your back foot 90 degrees or so. And rise, hands to hips. Straighten through the front leg. Take a peek at your feet. Activate your legs. Squeeze your glutes. Lift up the pelvic floor, belly to spine. Very strong legs in these standing shapes. And then we're going to bend through the front knee. So adjust your feet any way you need. Maybe you need to heel toe the left foot out to the side or left foot in a little bit. Maybe the back foot needs to turn in a little bit. How does your knees feel, your hips, your ankles? And if you want, you can extend your arms, maybe sink down into that front knee a little more. Breathe. You can take flowing warrior twos as well, where you just back off those quadriceps. So there's lots and lots of ways that we can explore the shapes based on the feedback our body's giving us. So when we squeeze the glutes, lift the pelvic floor, draw belly to spine, we're stabilizing. So we're avoiding that excessive back bending in the lumbar. We're not tucking the tailbone, we're just supporting it, supporting the pelvis. All right, hands to floor, glide that left foot back. Let's flush it out, yogis, any way you like. All right, we have arrived at our peak shape, which is our extended side angle today, Utthita Pasvakanasana. So let's see how we go. This shape, we have warrior two legs, and we do a bit of a lateral side bend with our upper body. So if you have that block, maybe just have it close in case you want it. If you don't have it, don't sweat it. All right, are we ready? From your tabletop or from your downward facing dog, up to you. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, foot between your hands. Drop your back foot 90 degrees or so. And rise to your warrior two first. Adjust your feet. So for me, my stance isn't wide enough. Adjust your feet any way you like. Then we're going to bring our right forearm onto our right thigh and our left hand to our left hip. Press your hips forward, head and shoulders back. Cheeky breaks can happen simply by straightening that front leg if you need a break, okay? So we're almost trying to make a straight line from the crown of our head down to our left heel. From here, there are a couple of options. If you want, you can lift that left arm. If you want, you can bring the arm over the head. Check that your front knee doesn't drift in when you modify. So we can sometimes forget about that. Lots of people like to bind in this shape. Binding's not a goal, it's an option. To bind, you wrap your left arm around your back and grab onto that right hip. What we have to be careful of is that we don't lean the body too far forward. If you want to take a little break, just straighten that front leg, that's it. Take a breath and then bend the knee again. If you want to go for the full bind in this shape, we first can bring our right fingertips to a block or to the floor. And just notice how we don't stick the booty out too far. One straight line. Then we can bend that right elbow and interlace the hands. Then press hips forward, head and shoulders back. So we're kind of in one straight line. And maybe the gaze is over the left shoulder. If binding is not for you, you don't have to do it. Binding's an option. From there, you can even straighten the front leg, take a break, come back in. So this is your extended side angle. We're going to release our hands to the floor, glide that right foot back, and flush it out with a flow. So you can see why we set the legs up in down dog first. Because when you move the body in a lateral position, it's hard to see what's going on with the lower part of the body. And when we set up the legs first in down dog, we can start to get an idea of what we need to activate and the angles of our feet that's going to be safe in our own body. So when we distract ourselves with the arms, we're still safe in the lower part of the body and our back as well. From either your tabletop or your down dog, inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, foot between the hands. Drop your back foot 90 degrees or so. Bind your warrior two. Set up your legs, adjust, adjust, adjust. If you need to take a break, that's okay. When you're ready, left forearm to left thigh. Right hand to hip. So right hand to hip gives you an idea of where your hip is. Press your hips forward, head and shoulders back. If you want, you can extend the right arm. Maybe the right arm comes over the head if that's okay. Stay here. Take breaks where you need. If you want to go for the bind, wrap the right arm around the back. Right hand grabs the left thigh. Maybe left hand comes down to the floor and that's enough. If you want to go for the full bind, coming down nice and low, thread that left hand through the legs and interlace the hands. If you take the interlace, hips forward, head and shoulders back. Iona, draw your right shoulder back a little more so the chest is opening to the side. Yes, you feel that? So it's a lot of in the inner thigh. So many variations, awesome. Lots of breaks I see, which is great. Keep the breath steady, nice Jill. Oh, nice Nikki. Casey, you look very comfortable there. Take a big breath in and let's exhale, release hands to floor, glide that left foot back and take your final flow. Then if you want to, from here it might feel really nice to take a child's pose. I like to take the knees wide in my body. You don't have to though, you can have the knees together. If your shoulders are really tired, you might bring your arms back behind you. Or it can be nice to bend the elbows and stack your hands and then bring your forehead on the back of your hands. It's completely fine to hold in stillness here. But if the body prefers, you can rock side to side as well. Entirely up to you. Let's make our way onto our back. So coming to lay on your back on your mat. And have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Oh, that should feel really good coming onto your back. Oh, nice one, Kate. If you want to put some extra layers on, feel free to do that because we're going to take a twist and we're going to find our Shavasan shape. So if you're feeling like you're cooling down, now's a really good time to put some extra layers on. All right, so with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, let's shift our hips over to the left and drop our knees over to the right side. If you like, your right hand can rest on top of the left thigh for a little more, if that's okay for you. And really ground that left shoulder into the floor. Feel the flow of breath settling down now. Starting to release from our practice. Let's draw our knees back to center. Take your time. There's no rush. Center your hips. And then when you feel you are ready, we'll go to the other side. So we shift our hips to the right first as our knees fall over to the left side. Maybe left hand rests on top of right thigh. Our right shoulder is grounded. So that's our anchor. Perhaps you take a moment to acknowledge your strength. For that wasn't an easy sequence. That class was not easy. Maybe you're a little stronger than you realize sometimes. And the strength can also be taking less, having the strength to say, you know what, that doesn't work for me today. I'm going to take less. That's strength too. Draw the knees back, center your hips. If it's okay, you might like to draw the knees in now and find this is technically a forward bend. Squeezing the knees in, compressing against the belly, perhaps for our spring activation of the digestive system. You might rock side to side. This is called Upanasan. And as the thighs compress against the belly, we activate the digestive system. We can also, I will say, we can release trapped gas in this shape. So there it is. Happy baby, if you want, you might just stay there and rock, or perhaps you take the ankles or the outer edges of the thighs. It can be really nice to wrap your arms behind the knees and interlace the hands. That can be a really nice happy baby option that just feels a little more restful, a little less active. Then releasing the legs, let's find our Shavasan shape. So your Shavasana might be reclined on your back. You might bring something under the knees. Perhaps you'd prefer to lay onto your side today. That's fine too. Or even onto your belly if that suits you. Just making sure the neck's safe, the body feels safe. We want to be able to really release all of the muscles in the body. So try to explore a shape that allows you to do that. Natural breath here, and please enjoy your very well-deserved deep rest, your Shavasana. Here as you lay on your mat, we have a whole week ahead of us, a whole week of opportunity to have a great week. If you like, perhaps you'll set an intention, a sankalpa for your week. You could create a little mantra if you like, which could be something you'll remember to come back to keep yourself on track. It could be remembering to come back to some calm breaths if things get a little busy or hectic. Some kind self-talk, perhaps. Whatever it needs to be for you.
When we practice at home, we can absolutely extend our Shavasana. So if that calls to you and you'd like to stay as you are, please ignore my voice and enjoy for as long as you like. Alternatively, if ending your class in a comfortable seat is what you're after today, you might like to start to move the body, or perhaps take some deeper breaths to wake the body. And if you're going to rise, let's find that comfortable seat now. If you'd like to end your class with the palms pressed, you're welcome to do that. Or maybe you'd rather just rest your hands on your knees or belly, chest, up to you. Bow the head towards the heart. And let's end our class today with 2 cleansing breaths. Cleansing breaths is where we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So exhale all of your air. Take a big breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth, and then sealing the lips. And may you breathe easy for the rest of your Sunday. Have a great day, yogis. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining me.